Hey guys, second video. If you haven't seen the first video, I do recommend you watch the first one first, just explaining what this video series is actually about. Now, in this video, this video is completely unplanned, but I really did feel called to do this video. Last night, after I did that first video, I went to my Facebook friends to start inviting people into this group. And I mentioned in the last video that I'm going to invite every single person I know, which is actually a big deal to me because I'm going to be sharing some stuff on this page that I've never shared with anyone before. So it's a little bit confronting to think that there's going to be certain people on this page. So I knew I had the option to just select all and just send them all across. And then I wouldn't have to think about like who's going in the group. I wouldn't have to overthink it. But I actually made the conscious decision to do it one by one because I wanted to feel the fear with each person that I ticked. And it was a really interesting process to go through because I kind of sat with I kind of observed my thoughts as I went through that process, and I observed what different fears came up with each individual person. So sometimes it was like fear of judgment, like, oh, I don't want that person in the group because they'll judge me, or I don't want that person in the group because they'll reject me, or I don't want that person in the group because they were there at one of the stories that I'm going to share, and you know they're gonna judge me, like, yeah, and it was just really interesting to see how many fears came up. But the truth is, what if they judge me? What's going to happen? Am I going to get embarrassed? What's going to happen if I get embarrassed? Am I going to die? No, I'm not going to die. It's an irrational fear. Fear of judgment is an irrational fear. Nothing will happen if someone judges me. So I enjoyed going through that process of going through my friends list and feeling the fear and then being like, irrational. You know, feeling the judgment again. Wow, another irrational thought. That means nothing. When again, yep, another fear of rejection. Like, what's going to happen? I'm not going to die. I've got food. I've got water. Like, if that person rejects me, I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to go to bed at night. I'm still going to be alive. And the truth is, the things that I'm sharing, you know, some people might judge me. People might reject me if they know me. That's fine. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this for everybody. Like, I'm not here to serve every person on earth. I'm here to serve people that are here for me to help. And I'm totally at peace with that. And, you know, a big part of this shift that I've experienced within myself, where I'm really recognizing how irrational most of our fears are, because a lot of our fears, we're not going to die. They're just these thoughts that we have in our head that are just, oh, don't do that, you know, just like constantly risk assessing things that aren't even risky. We're just formulating possible outcomes, which even if those outcomes were to happen, even if the worst case scenario could happen, like it's not the end of the world. It's literally not the end of the world. And if you really sort of dive deep into each of those fears, you'll recognize that too. But it's not often that we do dive deep into those fears that pop up. We just accept them. Oh no, fear of judgment. Oh, and then we just don't take that step, because just the fear of judgment is enough for us to not take that extra step. But if you really probe into that fear of judgment, okay, what if that person judges me? Then what? I might get embarrassed, or I might lose their friendship. If you're going to lose your friendship over something that you're doing that's true to you, then it's not the right friendship. Ultimately, you're not going to die. Is what I'm getting at. A big part in this shift that I've had, where I've really recognized and embodied the belief, the true inner belief that these fears are completely irrational and they're just thoughts that are not serving us. It came from when I was doing my NLP course, and you know, I've been on the personal development journey for a while, and through that journey, I came to learn that fear, you know, people are fearful of fear. They think, oh no, I wish I wasn't so scared of all these different things. But in reality, fear is a blessing. Fear is a gift. And the reason fear is a gift is because it is always pointing us in the direction that we need to go in order for us to fulfill our potential. And if we just keep leaning into fear, leaning into the things that make us uncomfortable, we will continue to grow and evolve, and we'll continue to move towards our highest good. And I've had this awareness that fear is a compass. It's pointing us in the direction that we need to go. We shouldn't shy away from it. We should step into it. But even though I knew that we should always step into fear and use it as a compass, I still felt the fear, and it still kept me paralyzed and stopped me from taking action. So when I did my NLP course, I specifically programmed into my mind every time I would have a thought, a fearful thought or a self-doubt thought, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified enough, oh, I can't do that, oh no, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. Whenever I've had one of those thoughts pop up, I programmed my mind to automatically trigger a counter thought, which is, I'm a fearless warrior and I can do anything I set my mind to. And then I immediately do that exact action that just a second ago triggered fear and self-doubt. So ever since I've done my NLP course, I've been continuously, faced with things that I was faced with in the past that would normally keep me paralyzed in fear. But now that I've programmed this into my mind, when those same situations come into contact with me, where I have, oh, I can't do that, I'm not qualified, I'm not good enough, I'm immediately like, I'm a fearless warrior and I can do anything I set my mind to, and then I just do it. So, and this is actually one of those things. The original reason this idea developed of me doing these videos is because I had a thought in my head like, what if I did a video, did a Facebook business page sharing my journey with personal development, and then immediately I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, people will judge me, blah, blah, blah. And then immediately, as soon as I had that thought, it was like, I'm a fearless warrior and I can do anything. And then straight like that, I created the business page and here I am. So there's a lot of power in stepping into our fear. And that's honestly where we're going to see the most growth. And I'm so glad that I've actually programmed this into my mind, because I genuinely do feel now I'm really, for the first time in my life, I'm on the true path to continuing to grow into the person that I am. I've always envisioned myself to be the person that wants to have an impact. I want to have an impact, and this is the path that's going to take me there. So that's what I really wanted to share. And honestly, this was a completely spontaneous video, and this just came about because I was inviting people into this group, sitting into the uncomfortability, the fears, and just observing them and just realizing, wow, every single one of these fears are completely irrational, and in the past they've held me back, and that's not going to happen anymore. And then I thanked, honestly, it was more like a sense of gratitude that fear exists, a sense of gratitude that the fear of judgment, the fear of rejection exists, because it's all pointing me, it's all a compass, it's all showing me, go this way, this is where you're going to grow, this is where you're going to evolve, this is where you need to be to have the impact that you want to have. And this is something that's not just applicable to me. Even if you're not too interested in having an impact, just keep leaning into fear and you'll go to wherever you're meant to go. Everybody's journey is different. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to share today, guys. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.